Alphabeta Giants. What up, what up, what up? Welcome, this is another video. Much love to those who subscribe and those who've been sharing and commenting. I read your comments, I listen to you. And here's another video of one of the stories that you will love. Alphabeta Giants. What's the best way to hide your age in plain sight? Ever thought about it? I have a hack for it, and this is how you do it. When somebody asks you how old you are, you say, I got to 25 in June 3rd. What you have done, you have left the person to guess which year that happened, right? Just say, I got to this age on this date and month. But it is up to them to fill up which year that event happened. Everybody assumed it is in the same year. That's how we mask languages. Everybody assumes. So as we speak, I got to 18 on June 3rd. That's how old I am. Alphabeta Giants, this is another story, another video to advise you to be very watchful. I almost got conned by some gentleman and another gentleman and a lady. Some 3 people almost conned me until the last minute when I clicked out of it. So sit back and listen to this. So this is certain year in Nairobi, in Westlands. In Westlands, there's a shopping mall called Sarit Center, and then from Sarit Center there's a roundabout that splits up. One goes towards the Westlands. No, one splits up to the road that goes to join Wayaki Way. The other one goes to join, I think, Ojijo Road. I'm not very sure. And then one goes towards Mathenge Road, or where you have the Westgate Mall. And then now there is one that goes to Kabete. I might be wrong, but that's my geography for now. So it's my story anyway. So those roads go where I say. So I was just moving from the Sarit Center side, and I was going down towards the road that goes towards Westgate. Where I was working was actually behind Westgate, where there's General Mathenge Road. So I was walking that side, and that used to be my journey every morning when I'm going to work. So this day was sort of on a Saturday, or it was on a public holiday. It was one of those two. It was not a rush day. It was just a calm day. It was an easy day, and I was going to work at about 10 a.m. or thereabout. So this is actually what happens. So I'm walking, and just after I cross that roundabout, now I start out to go because it's a bit of a depression, and then you go up so that you get to General Mathenge. I just start to walk along that road, and a gentleman stops me. One of the characteristics of this gentleman was that he was very, very talkative. Like, he wasn't giving me space to talk. Like, I would chime in something and he would talk over it. And for some reason, I think it is a way to rope you into something. So he stops me and he asks me, so he says, "Hi, how are you? I am looking for a children's home. And that children's home, I am meant to understand it is this side of Sarit Center. Would you know where it is? Can you direct me?" In my mind, I know something to do with children that is somewhere behind a Sarit Center. Apparently, I think it used to be a clinic. I just used to hear of it. It didn't have good labeling, but I knew there was something to do with children. So I think about it and then I tell him, I am not very sure because what I know is that I know of a health center where I think children are taken, infants, but I don't know of a children's home where they support, destitute children or such. Then immediately I start explaining like that. I think within the conversation, he just immediately jumps in and asks me, "Do you, by the way, would you be knowing me?" I look at him and I'm like, "I really don't know you." He was a very short guy, very short, shorter than me, relatively short, and I am short, so he's shorter. So I look at him, and in my mind, I don't know this guy completely. So he's continuously talking. By the way, he was just roping me into conversations, and in my mind, I am having a separate conversation. Like, he's talking too much. I need to go. What's going on? Something is warning me, but I am not able to switch on to the alarms in my head. So he goes like, "You don't know me." For me, I've actually been on TV with Jeff Koinange. Jeff Koinange is one of the biggest interviewers and TV presenters in Kenya. He's an old guy, but he's been there for quite a while. He used to be on CNN and all those other channels. So this guy goes like, "You've not even seen me being interviewed by Jeff Koinange. I was on TV for this, for that." In my mind, I am lost. Like, I'm listening to him, but I am not sure. In my mind, I'm wondering, should I know you? Like, I don't even know you. But things are happening so fast. So apparently, he's buying time for some other two people to come by. So while he's talking, two people approach us, and they were quite old. Like, it was an older couple, a lady and a man. So once they approach us, this guy goes like, hold on a minute. Let me ask these guys if they know the children's home. I don't know what madness was there in my head. I stood there and I am telling myself, I think I would want to know also, so that tomorrow, if somebody asks me, I would tell where the children's home is. Ah! So I stand there, and this old man and lady, they come and they stand next to me. So they're, I think the man is at the end, then the lady, then it is me, then it is this gentleman. So this gentleman asked them, "So would you know where the children's home is? I want to, you know." Then the gentleman says, "I know of a children's home, but it was there, but it moved and it went to location X. I don't know where he mentioned." So in my mind, I'm really like, "Oh, no wonder I don't know about it." But now things start to escalate so fast. The conversation starts to move, and I am stuck there. So all of a sudden, so this guy asks, "So do you know me?" So the guy says, "I've seen you on TV. I know you. Hey, what have you been doing? How have you been going on with your business, supporting the kids and doing all that?" I am screwed to the ground, or is it glued to the ground? I am not sure why I'm not leaving. And they start this back and forth. But in the conversation, they always have these slots where they're slotting me in, asking me something, or trying to ask me to contribute to the conversation. And I don't know why I wasn't leaving. So it gets to a place, this guy goes and asks, "So do you guys give like tithe? Do you tithe in church?" In my mind, I am like, this conversation, is it meant for me? But somehow I'm engrossed in the conversation. So I'm like, "Yes, I do tithe. We do tithe." The man says he tithes. The lady says he tithes. The conversation goes somewhere else. This guy goes and asks, "So do you guys do you save? Do you save in the bank? Do you save somewhere?" I am not sure what I was doing participating in this conversation, but I was not moving. So I'm like, okay, me, I don't save. I use my bank as a bridge between my employer and myself. So my employer pays me, I withdraw everything, I pay my bills, and I'm done. But this guy keeps asking me, asking, so any one of you, and even the other ones are contributing to the conversation. So everybody says their position, says their position. So there's a time this guy asks, so how much do you have in your pocket? My mind is asking me, in which world do people go exposing to strangers what they have in their pocket? But I am engrossed and intertwined in this conversation which I can't get out of. The man says something, I don't remember. The lady says something, I say something, which generally is to say, no, I don't have anything. So the guy goes like, no, even if you have something that you've been sent, like you've been sent somewhere, like even if it is not your money in your pocket, but how much do you have in your pocket? What do you have? And the lady goes like, I have some 20,000 Kenya shillings, which I have been sent by our women's group to go and deposit. So that is the only money I have with me right here. For me in my pocket, I think I had 1,000 and I had maybe a 50 shilling. So I go like, I only have a 50 shilling. In my mind, this conversation is refusing, but my body is not moving. So I go like, I only have a 50 shilling and it is my birthday. And this guy keeps insisting, no, no, even if it is not your money, whatever monies you have in your pocket, what do you have? And I'm like, I don't, I honestly only have a 50. Then I don't know how this conversation shifted. And it goes like, so what do you have in the bank? What do you have in your account or in your savings? Remember, all this time, my mind is resisting. It feels like something is wrong, but I am glued to the conversation. I'm glued to the ground. I'm not moving. I don't know why my triggers are not getting to the level where I need to snap out of it. So I'm just here. So when he asks how much you have in your account or how much you have in your savings, the lady says she has 100,000 somewhere in a women's group, which she intends to probably purchase land when it gets to the best value. I don't know why he felt this conversation was in kind. If, according to me, the guy felt like he's sort of a pastor, or like he was trying to advise us. So we're just participating. The gentleman says that he has 2 million, which he has just been paid from his pension because he's a retired uh, military guy. So he just got paid. So he has some 2 million, which he's gotten paid. Then they come to me. So how much do you have? And I'm like, I don't have. I honestly don't have any savings. I already said in my account, I only move money. Once I'm paid, it passes through my account to my hands and I use the money. The rest of the month I'm surviving. I think I was, I think in that whole conversation, I came out as though I really don't have anything. And I was honest because I kept repeating the same thing. My brain was working, but my body was not. So this conversation gets to a place where, after all the back and forth, he's asking questions and the intimate questions about finances and your pocket and what you have in your account. And do you contribute to church? Do you contribute to children, to the needy? Do you give out? Do you help? After all this conversation, this is where my trigger came in. You're waiting to know what happened. So this is what triggered my senses, and this is what made me to manage to pull away. So I think when it got to a place, I think let me put it this way: they were in cahoots, they were together, and so I think they have a stream of discussion that they use to try and find a way into what you have, so that they can use it. Maybe against you, so that they can pull some money from you. So I think they had tried all part of the options they had, and I was not forthcoming. But I was not aware I was not forthcoming. But in my mind, I was I was screening the conversation. I was hiding some things, but I don't know why I couldn't leave. And this thing took like 15 minutes or 20, like we were standing there like buddies. So the last thing that happens that triggers my conscience and snaps me out of it, and I think it was their next card that they wanted to play with me. I didn't know where it was going, but it snapped me out of it. So the guy goes like, so would you take my number so that much later maybe we can continue with this conversation and I can direct you where you can help the needy and the children that need help. Something happened within that snap second as he was expecting me to take his number. So in this arrangement, which we all maybe didn't know, I didn't know, is that he's addressing all of us, but technically I'm the one being addressed there. So he's addressing us to take his number so that we can communicate, and also send him something so that he can go about his endeavors to help the world. So when he says if we can save his number, I go into my pocket and I think I had an iPhone 5S. I think I had an iPhone 5S or an iPhone 6. Not sure, but I had an iPhone. So I just go to my pocket and I start to pull out my phone. And for some reason, at the crosshairs of my view, I notice him, I notice her, and I notice him, and all of them are looking at my pocket. And that is what snapped me out of it. Like, I don't know what happened, but just just noticing in a snap second that all of them were looking at me, that's when I knew I was on my own. That is when I knew I have to run. So what I did is I just took out my phone and I told him, okay, give me your number. Like I was now done, 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 done. So I was like, give me your number. So he gives me his number. For me, I just type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. And what is your name, gentlemen? I type in some things which I didn't even know what I was typing. Then I was like, okay, I'm done, I'm late, I need to go. I am, thank you, continue your endeavor, we will communicate. And that is how I snapped out of it and I left. And true to it, in about 5 or 10 steps, when I looked back, these guys had vanished. I have never felt such a relief. I don't know where it was going. I don't know. You know what I've come to learn is that most con people, they will con you with very little knowledge of your details. Somebody will just know your name and your ID number, and you think they know everything about you, and then you will be freely giving the rest, thinking they already know you. I think they had expected me to divulge a few of my details, and then maybe most likely later they would use my phone number to call me because they already have some data, which I wouldn't have known how they knew about it. Probably I wouldn't have connected. But I think I don't even know how it was supposed to go. But I was glad I snapped out of it and I left. And I was safe in my own hands. If you've listened to this story up to this stage, you're the real gang. You're the real gang. Please subscribe, share, and like. Let's meet in the next. Peace.